Ah, ah, ah,
Thank you so very much for being here with me today. Do your big one and hit the subscription bell so you never miss anything that I post. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this video with someone who's on the same vibe that we are. You guys see this foolishness? I know you absolutely positively see this foolishness, because if I see this foolishness, you guys have to see this foolishness. Nick Cannon is about to get on my everlasting nerves, and I'm about to tell y'all why if you already don't know. Nick Cannon, father of 12 with 6 women, slammed over relationship podcast announcement. Here's a little bit of a bite from that. Well, not a sound bite, but I'm going to read what it said. He said, in the interview. Previously, Cannon said not spending enough time with his children was his biggest guilt. Speaking to the checkup with Dr. David Agus on Paramount Plus, he said, being a father of multiple kids, it's always the biggest guilt on me is that I don't get to spend enough time with all my children. 1, because I'm constantly working, and 2, because I'm spread so thin. Well, you don't fucking say, Nick. You think you're spread thin? When you have 12 children with 6 different mothers, you think you're spread thin? Because a lot of them don't even live in the same place. Some of them live on completely different coasts, because you know Mariah Carey is a New Yorker and some of them kids are in California. So how are you able to spend enough time with your children, all of your children, and able to be a father and not be spread thin? You gotta make this type of shit make sense to me. And him having these children was fully intentional, and it's something that he did on purpose. It wasn't like he made these children by accident. Now, Nick, you, I, and everybody else knows how to keep from having babies. I have 1. I knew how to not have the 1, but I love my daughter. I don't regret her. She's not a mistake to me, just like I'm sure your kids are not a mistake to you either. However, I will never be able to say out of my mouth that I am spread thin because I have 1 child, because it was all I wanted and all I could afford, and I wasn't about to have a bunch of kids with a bunch of different men and be calling myself able to have time for all of those children, because I knew that that was not possible for me to have time for all of those children. And damn that, just being honest, I wouldn't want 12 children anyway, much less with 6 different daddies, because that's a bit much. And like you said yourself, out of the horse's mouth, you're spread thin, and I can only imagine. Plus, y'all already know I would be on everybody and their mama's podcast if I was a celebrity woman with a bunch of different kids. Because you got Keke Palmer, and she has 1 baby daddy, and they be all on her ass about her children. And I'm like, why though? She got a whole husband, and her kids are with her husband, and you be up that lady ass like nothing. But y'all act like Nick Cannon is doing some great service because he too has money and has a bunch of kids, but he got 12 kids with 6 different women. Y'all need to talk about that. Y'all need to really address that. Now, I get it. It's not really my damn business about Nick having all those children, because that's some celebrity shit and that's rich people problems. But you know what becomes our problem? Or not really what becomes our problem, but you know what aggravates me? When you try to bring it to public to get sympathy and talk about how you're spread thin, and then you want to have a relationship podcast announcement, and you gonna encourage these people out here who don't have any money, who are already doing this, who don't need to be doing this, to have all these kids with all these different people, and those kids are not going to be taken care of like your kids, because you know life imitates art, and people are going to definitely feel like, oh, if Nick Cannon can do it, I can do it, when they don't even have 2 nickels to rub together. Are you kidding? When you are in the public eye like that, Nick, unfortunately, you do have to lead by example. And this is not the example that you really want to set for these ninjas out here, for real. I really, really beg of the average person who cannot afford children like Nick Cannon to not go around spreading your seed all over the place. Because first his excuse was, oh, I'm sick and I have an illness and I want to carry on a legacy, blah, 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 blah. But now, Nick, what is your excuse? For real. Y'all, Just do not follow this example. If you choose to, you're on your own, because you already know being a millionaire like Nick Cannon is very rare for people, and it's especially rare for black people. So don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, boo. Well, I will say one thing. Nick is not a deadbeat dad, and he does take care of his kids, so I can't knock him for that. But Nick, for once in your life, put it away, boo. Remember, energy is reciprocal, and good people create good vibes. I love y'all, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Ah, ah.